Welcome to Voice of the Past TV. If you love the hidden history that schools never taught you, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share it with others, and comment what history you want us to cover next. Now, let me take you back to a story the world tried to forget. In 1929, in what is now southeastern Nigeria, something extraordinary happened. There were no guns, no armies, and no generals. Instead, there were women market women, mothers, and widows armed only with songs, unity, and incredible courage. History would later call it the Ava Women's War, but the British colonial government dismissed it as a riot, hoping that time would simply erase it from memory. It all started quietly. The British were already taxing the men heavily, pushing many families to their limits. Then, rumors began to spread like wildfire. Women would be taxed next. For these women, who survived by trading palm oil, cassava, and cloth, this wasn't just a tax, it was a threat of starvation. Tax meant control, and control meant silence. But these women refused to be silenced. From villages across the Aba, Owerri, and Calabar provinces, over 10,000 women rose up. They marched for days under the hot sun. They surrounded colonial offices, sang powerful protest songs through the night, and used an old tradition called sitting on a man. This was a powerful public shaming ritual, a cultural tool meant to expose injustice and hold men accountable for their actions. At first, the British officers laughed. They saw women and they saw weakness. They believed the women would get tired and just go home. They were profoundly wrong. By December 1929, the protests had shaken the colonial system to its very core. Court buildings were attacked not to steal, but to destroy the records of unfair judgments and taxes. Native warrant chiefs, local men who had abused their power under British rule, were forced to resign in shame. Then came the blood. British troops opened fire on the crowds of unarmed women. At least 50 women were killed, and many more were wounded. Their names were never written in any British books. Their families were told to forget, but their sacrifice changed everything. After the massacre, the British were forced to reform their colonial governance, reduce the power of the corrupt warrant chiefs, and most importantly, they abandoned their plans to tax women. Without even realizing it, these brave women had exposed the fragility of an entire empire. Yet today, their story is rarely told. You won't find statues of them. There are no global movies or long chapters